To Trendz Live on SABC News Channel 404 with myself, Nkosazana Dambuza. This August, we're shining a spotlight on all you powerful, beautiful and remarkable women of South Africa. This month is your time to shine and we celebrate you because to touch a woman is to touch a rock. We're giving Imbokodo the honor it deserves through the lens of art, fashion and music. Now, South Africans of all walks of life commemorate Women's Month in August as a tribute to more than 20,000 women who marched to the Union buildings 67 years ago to protest against the extension of past laws to women. We took our cameras to the streets to find out what our viewers think of Women's Month and whether women are celebrated enough. Take a look.
Women's Month is all about celebrating women, all about empowering women. In the past, a lot of women weren't really celebrated, put on the spotlight, but now in today's society, we're able to celebrate them, we're able to love them, we're able to show them like, you're the one.
I think it's important to celebrate, all of the amazing things that we've done and also create solidarity with each other.
To me, it really means like empowering women and appreciating the women who are close to you and in your life and who always inspire you to be a better woman as a young woman, Yeah.
It's all about empowerment and uplifting women and definitely supporting them. Yeah, and showing love to them.
Women are being acknowledged this month and we're being treated like queens, of which we need to be treated like queens each and every day of the year or each and every day.
Do you think enough is being done to celebrate women and recognize them?
Not really enough, especially by the other gender. Because only we support ourselves and we celebrate Women's Month. It's not like men come to these functions. We the ones advocating and saying, no, let's celebrate ourselves because we are Mbokodos.
There's never really enough you can do, but yes, there's a lot done in today's society just to push the point that women are important, women are there, women in high places are also doing that for themselves and empowering other women. So I think there's always more to be done, but I think there's a lot being done today as well.
I think especially for Black women and women of color around the world, there's so much like intersecting trauma and problems and like neglect, you know, and violence, you know, no matter, I mean, there's so many different levels of that in different places, of course, and I feel really privileged in my life, but the small ways that it shows up that, you know, because of gender and the intersection with race, it just is so insidious and terrible sometimes, you know?
Yes and no, because like these days in the industry, empowering women isn't really actually about empowering women. It's more of a money-making business. So a part of it, yes, we have like women who are playing lead roles and whatnot, and then at the same time, people are profiting off of that instead of actually like empowering women in real life. I feel like more could be done for women to be empowered and to be in positions where they have like a better life and better opportunities.
I think we'll know that we're doing a little better when we get 1 year maternity leave.
Ooh.
Guaranteed. We get every month.
Yeah.
We get a week off and you don't ask any questions. You get a week off to rest, you know, menstruate or whatever it is you need to do, you get a week off.
I love that.
When we get that, when we get regular breaks to take care of children and take care of the people, all the people, the elders, all the people that we take care of in our lives, when all of that is built into regular workforce labor practices, then we'll know we're doing a little better.
Right.
And it still won't be enough, but we'll know we're doing a little bit better.
The Art of Superwoman and the Nirox Foundation are hosting a phenomenal woman event to celebrate Women's Month and honor women in the art and entertainment spaces. Held at Nirox Sculpture Park, west of Johannesburg, the festival will feature performances by inspiring instrumentalists and musicians. This to showcase the artistic brilliance and to celebrate the spirit of womanhood. I am joined by woman advancement advocate Olwethu Shabane and music director AusTebza to chat more about women's struggles and their contributions in our different societies. Ladies, welcome to Trendz Live. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you for having us.
Listen, it's a pleasure. I want to start with you, Olwethu, you know, the Art of Superwoman. Obviously, this is intended to celebrate the journeys that women take in life. Why is it important to highlight the different parts that we take as women?
I think because we're not a monolith, as we're always perceived to be. Women are so different, we're so multifaceted, we're so talented, we're so full of joy, but I think we're really given the chance to express our full joy, our full being, our full multifaceted selves, and we're always just placed in a box of this is what we should be cooking, cleaning, caring, and maybe dabbling in your career. And so it's so important that as Art of Superwoman, we do show the multifacetedness and the wholesomeness and the different ideas of success that we have as women.
Absolutely, and you're one person who absolutely personifies that.
Yeah,
you know,
I hope so.
I follow you on social media. No, honestly, you are. So. And as an advocate of women advancement issues, what are some of the challenges that women are still facing in this day and age, especially women in arts?
I think not being seen, not being recognized, being at the forefront of a lot of movements, forefront of a lot of creative shifts, but still not given that recognition and the equality and equal pay and same opportunities that there are out there. And also, I think that there is a lot of misconceptions that women have, and a lot of being boxed and misrepresented. And you know, one of the reasons why we wanted to partner with Nirox and put together events such as this is to show that we actually have some of the cream of the crop of talent in women in this country, and these women are actually doing phenomenal work and not just showcasing their talent and their being in South Africa alone, but globally. We have global superstars like AusTebza, who's not just, I think, the best bassist in this country, but an absolutely amazing creative director and an amazing musical director in her own right. And AusTebza is putting together and curating this this amazing show and beautiful storytelling we're going to see come to life on Sunday.
Yeah.
And you know, I think these are ways in which we get boxed and put into these little categories of woman this, woman that. No, we're actually talent as a whole. We are being and not just trying to be boxed and put into this particular woman this, woman that.
So what are the solutions to these challenges? How do we unbox women, so to speak?
We start by creating these particular opportunities where we're showcasing who we are without, you know, yes, it's Women's Month. Yes, it's happening and it's a women's concert. Yes, it's curated by a woman. But as we move into these spaces and more people come and they experience this, they not just see it as a women's concert.
Yeah.
It is a concert that is superbly creative directed and put together. And let's just receive women's work as just talent.
Yeah.
You know, as also just being superbly doing amazing at what we do and getting paid for it.
Absolutely. AusTebza, I want to bring you into the conversation. You have earned yourself the title of Bass Queen in South Africa, because that's what you are, right? And you've been in the industry for a very long time.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you've encountered as a woman?
I think like what Olutu has, you know, pointed out, just to be allowed to be yourself. Because remember, with art, it comes with expression. Now, when you are being told or given a certain path, you know, to express that, then somehow it's not been given a chance to exist as it's meant to be. So I'm excited for this coming Sunday, because the audience will get to see what women are capable of doing on their own, because we know that our industry is male-dominated. And even when you have amazing ideas, just because you're a woman, they're not going to listen to you at you know, first hand. Like it's going to be something that they do if maybe what they wanted to do fails. And they're like, okay, let's try your idea. I'm talking about something that I have experienced. So having a platform where we will show our strengths as instrumentalists, because people need to understand that's how music gets created. Even everything that is, you know, on the technology gadgets, somebody had to play them. You know, they come from instruments. So we're going to be doing that live, acoustically. People will be there. People will experience us being perfect. People are going to experience us not being perfect, making a mistake, owning up to it, and redirecting it. I think it's going to be one of the amazing experience people will have, and there's going to be an engagement with the audience. I don't want to say too much because people have to come to
Of course,
Nirox,
and they will come. They will come. Talking about the industry being male-dominated, there was a time when artists were calling for powers that be to open up the industry to more women. Do you think that we've made strides in this regard?
We are knocking. We are just there by the door. You know, we need platforms like this for people to see that there are women who are willing to take up that space as well. So when you are given a platform to express the talent that you are fighting for, I think that's when people get to see what you're all about. I mean, when I tell people my journey of how I started playing, they're thinking, oh my goodness, we only thought you started playing when we saw you on TV. I'm like, no, there was plus minus 7-8 years of me not being on TV where I was existing. So we are certainly fighting for it, and I'm excited to see more women coming forward to say, yes, we want to own up this space. We want to show that we are creative. Our creativity does not only end in a household, but it's also there in spaces where we can encourage and motivate other people.
Listen, listen, you are truly representing what it means to be a woman, and I say that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much.
Look up to you. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to interview you and continue being an inspiration, not only to me, but to many women in South Africa. What you're doing is phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming here, and thank you for being the rocks that you are.
Thank you.
Now make sure to stick around. We have more thrilling performances when we return.
wangibamba ngesandla wathi ngingakhulumi ngavela ngathula kakunika ithuba wangibamba ngesandla ngavela ngathula kirata when I fella 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 wangibamba ngesandla ngavela ngathula wangibamba ngesandla ngavela ngathula kirata when I fella kirata when I fella kirata when I fella kirata when I fella kirata when I fella
Renowned South African artist Blessing Ngobeni is celebrating a remarkable milestone in his artistic journey, a decade of creating groundbreaking and thought-provoking artwork. As part of this momentous occasion, Ngobeni has decided to host a solo exhibition where he both recycles his old work and assumes the persona of a messenger of experiences. This innovative approach not only reflects his evolution as an artist, but also highlights the transformative power of art.
Good evening, Trenders. We are at the opening night for Nzumi Yabudomi by Blessing Ngobeni. This intriguing exhibition deeply investigates the purpose within human experience, and we are here tonight to witness an extraordinary exploration of an artistic expression and cultural reflection. Blessing Ngobeni is an audacious artist whose vibrant and boundary-pushing work encapsulates the essence of multimedia expression while altogether defying the concept of time. In Nzumi Yabudomi, he seamlessly merges various artistic forms, creating a mesmerizing tapestry of visual and sensory experiences.
Being a part of this experience has been completely invaluable for me. My contribution, I would say, was really working with Blessing to uncover what it is that he would like to put across, to uncover what his message is, and then to create that into an experiential space where people can really understand that Blessing is trying to portray and express what the human experience is. And so it was very wonderful to understand where his head is and then to translate that into a space. I really love Genocide of Brutality, which is across the way. It is 2 triptychs that are placed together, so it's actually 6 panels. And I think it's my favorite piece because it's all encompassing in one piece of what Blessing wants to say about how multifaceted and nuanced the Black experience is, and not just the Black South African experience, but the Black diaspora as well.
Ngobeni delved into the depths of human existence within Nzumi Yabudomi, posing questions about our shared purpose and the significance of our individual journeys.
Today is my opening of my second Standard Bank Young Artist Solo Exhibition show, titled Nzumi Yabudomi, meaning the messenger of experience. So I'm the messenger. So what you're gonna see down there is what I assume or I think the world is like, you know, and the people around me is like, and then that's how they think. So you are here to view some of my work that I did a few years ago, and then my latest works, which are speaking about what is going on around ourselves and around the world. This is a collection of my old work, you know, hence in the speaker he said I have a work that titled Recycled History. So that his recycled history appears in all of the collection of my previous work, my mid work, and the work that I created during the lockdown, and also the recent work that are very, very new and few people knows those works. So yeah, that's how I built the collection. I never had like a single year to dedicate, but it's a collection of my history, including the work that is dating 2013 when I was new in the industry. So it's a collection of all these works that you're gonna see tonight. What inspired this board of work is historical events, you know, events that are brutally to the black skin, and events that are excitement, or events that are more that need to be corrected, you know. So to me, Abutom is more working with the historical experience of a black child, you know, I mean, across the globe, you know, looking at the experiences that either build you or destroys you.
So there is something interesting that Blessing's work does, is that if you look at virtually all of his work, there is a cohabitation or a co-presence, but that does not generate tension between forms of thinking that ordinarily we don't think of as having a possibility of existing together. You have in his work a presence of messages that come from the world beyond, the ancestral, the spiritual, the metaphysical. But also at the same time, that same work would be a comment on the present existential questions, problems of corruption, problems of consumption, you know, the problems of, you know, poverty, the problems of betrayal, political betrayal that people have suffered at the hands of the political elite.
Has already won 9 international awards and traveled to 32 international film festivals. Now, the film Dostojee has arrived in Johannesburg. In a world where many are overwhelmed by negativity, this film's narrative is a simple tale of 2 young friends in rural Bengal who create their own world and experience life in their own innocent ways. And in studio, we are joined by the president of BASA and the film's director to tell us more about this Indian Bengali movie screening at Killarney tomorrow. Welcome to Trendz Live, gentlemen. How are you?
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you so much. And this is my first time in South Africa.
Really?
So, and let me tell you one thing, the South Africa connection with this film. Yeah. Actually, in 2022, the film was in the international competition section of Durban International Film Festival.
Oh, wow.
And that year, in 2022, it was the only entry from India in Durban International Film Festival.
Listen, I hope you've had a wonderful experience of South Africa so far. And of course, being on the show probably enhances that as well. Prasuna, I want to talk to you about this being a debut film for you. What are some of the ups and downs that you've encountered during the production process?
Actually, the main challenge was it's about the finance, it's about the funding, it's about the financial problems, because we don't have any so-called big film stars in this film. There were only 2 little boys from rural Bengal. So it was very difficult to get the funding. It was very difficult to convince the producers and investors to come on board. So it was difficult, but somehow we did it.
Absolutely. And Gurish, I want to bring you into the conversation as well. This film was obviously produced in the Bengali language. Why is it important for you to have, or for this film, to have such an authentic language?
See, basically, Bengali language is the one of the most popular language and 7th most spoken language in the world. It's most important. And secondly, I think Prasun is in a better position to answer this question because he has picked up this theme.
Yeah, so you can tell us, why did you choose this language?
Actually, this film is located, the film is situated in the border areas of Bengal, India-Bangladesh border. And we didn't have any option without Bengali language because if we have to make this film, we have to make this film in Bengali language only, because it's all about Bengal. So that's why it's in the Bengali language.
Absolutely, and amongst many accolades, Dostojee has won 4 film awards, you know. But why do you think that this film is unique? What makes it different from every other production out there?
Being the director of the film, it's very difficult to answer, actually. Yeah, it's true that the film won 4 Filmfare Awards in India. I think the juries are the better persons to answer. But yeah, what I felt that it's not only in India, in the country of origin, almost all over the world, everywhere where the film got released or in the international film festivals, I received the same warmth, same emotional reaction from the audience all over the world. Somehow the story of the story of friendship between 2 little boys from 2 different religions, the core feeling of love and friendship, this is actually connecting with the audience.
Yeah.
The core human emotion.
Absolutely, and as you said, it's been a worldwide hit and also a box office hit in places like Taiwan. Gorish, did you expect it to fare so well, you know? And also, importantly, can this film be viewed in subtitles?
Yeah, we actually got inspired by the theme, and I think everybody in the world is looking for such kind of movies.
Yeah.
Where we are fighting with each other, with religion or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And countries like Taiwan, they have such a big success in such a short period of time. We got excited, and we feel the same thing can happen in South Africa also.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we view this film with subtitles? Are they available everywhere?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, you are welcome to visit Killarney City Center, Cine Center tomorrow. 6 o'clock we have this show, and it is all in English subtitled.
Awesome. And since you're viewing this film to South Africans, how do you think that we will relate and resonate with the content that you're providing?
The core thing is, let me tell you one thing, friendship, love, and the emotion of losing a close friend. It's all over the world, it's same. It doesn't depend on the language or culture, irrespective of culture, geospecific practices, religious belief, irrespective of everything. The core emotion of friendship and love is all over the world, it's same.
Absolutely. And how are South Africans going to be inspired by the proceeds of this event and film?
I believe South African audience can connect, because this story is from the rural part of Bengal with the underprivileged people, and the film is telling story of 2 marginal boys.
Yeah.
So and the core feeling of friendship between 2 different religions. There is discrimination between elders, but there is no discrimination. No sense of discrimination between 2 little boys. So I believe South African audience can connect with this specific things.
And is there a way that you're going to be, so to speak, giving back to the community of South Africa through this film, you know, in terms of the proceeds?
Yeah, that actually probably I'll be able to answer, because we were inspired by this movie, number 1. Second is, Bengali Association of South Africa has been here since 2005.
Yeah.
Beside promoting the cultural connects between South Africa and India, we have been doing a lot of charity activities, both from India and in South Africa. We have been with the hospice also for some time. So this movie, we are going to be collecting whatever the extra money we will get. We are going to be actually distributing to the charities. So that is the main objective of bringing this movie here and associating our organization with this.
That is amazing. I think that's probably my favorite part of this whole project, that you actually are going to be giving to the community of South Africa.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Basa. That is very much needed and commendable. Thank you.
If I can add something more, here we would like to also connect with all the media and the young producer of South Africa, they should also get inspired by the work that Prashun has done in his debut film with such a small resource that they had and such a wonderful concept that they have picked up.
Yeah.
So we would like to have more such events and more such movies coming in and increase our collaboration. We can have meetings, Zoom meetings, or we can have more connects with the community, similar communities in India and South Africa. And Basa will be more than happy to be the catalyst for these connections.
Oh, wow. I hope all the film producers and directors out there have heard that India has opened up their arms to receive us with warmth. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us in studio today.
Thank you so very much.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Now, we traveled 12,000 kilometers to Japan for a one-of-a-kind experience. As Dostojee mentioned last week, Selepe Maifadi was in Okinawa, Japan for the Corona Sunsets Festival. This brand is hosting a global experience where 14 of the most scenic countries around the world will host the world's first eco-friendly festival, according to Oceanic Global. Now, Japan had a 4-year absence of the festival, but they returned with the most epic experience that was centered around relaxation and enjoying the beautiful sunsets while listening to live music from local and international acts. Now, we had a chat with some of the artists about their perfect sunset moments, and let's take a look.
The Sunsets Festival in Okinawa, Japan had a packed lineup of various artists around the world, such as American band Moonchild and soul artist Duran Jones, just to name a few.
We love Japan.
Yeah. We feel lucky to be invited back. Every time we get any kind of offer to do a show, we're always like, okay, yes, just tell us when to book the tickets. We're there. So, and we've never been to Okinawa before, so this is going to be a special show.
I think what's really special about this one is that it's in an absolutely beautiful setting. Sometimes, festivals seem like dirt pits, like it's nothing but dirt, you can't wear your nice shoes, but here we're right on one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen, and I feel like the vibe in that within itself is just absolutely awesome. So
Okinawa is basically like the Hawaii of Japan, so that makes it even more surreal, I think. Just like the beautiful water, being surrounded by, the beach, and just everybody having a good time.
This festival also had various local acts that showcased the signature sound of the Japanese culture.
Japan is definitely heavily influenced by America, but at the same time, they have their specific kind of style as well that I feel like most artists in Japan embrace. And I really appreciate that because I feel like that's what makes them unique, like J-pop or whatever. That's really what makes them unique and kind of keep the culture alive, I guess, if that makes sense, through their music.
The infamous Sunset Moment was performed by a hit-making Japanese artist, Hidaidai.
Dai. He's a Japanese artist, and he is actually like country. He's a country pop artist. He plays guitar, he plays ukulele. He's got a really amazing voice, very, very amazing. He writes all of his own songs. And one thing that's really special about him is that he actually releases songs like I think he releases one song like per week or something like that. Yeah, he like makes songs really fast, and then he releases them really fast, and they're all really great songs, like, you know, so it's kind of crazy. Honestly, it's really surreal. Like it's a dream come true, definitely, because I don't always have the opportunity to play in front of crowds that huge, and just seeing their faces, seeing everybody singing along, yeah, it's amazing, honestly.
We play a lot of horns, so that's a lot of fun for us. Everybody has kind of a solo moment, and yeah, we've been playing this music the past few years on tour, and it's kind of, you know, shifted and become a new thing with every show, so it'll be a fun show.
Yeah, Japan audiences are a little different than in the States, you know, but we've never done a festival out here, so we're excited to see what that's like.
Man, I really want to wake them up. I know the Japanese are very polite people, but I really want to play very expressively, very expansively. I'm adding some cool covers to the set and doing a little bit of Stevie Wonder, so hopefully folks will resonate and vibe with that.
With all the fun in the sun, the highlight of the festival is bringing awareness to the impact of our carbon footprint.
Word, I really appreciate you asking me that question, because I really think about my carbon footprint a lot, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I don't own a car. In the USA, it's so common it's such a big car culture out there, but I really do feel like I can find a way or find places to live where I don't need a car. You know, I love when the streets belong to the people, because that's where community happens. That's where we engage with one another, and we start learning to live with one another a little better. So I really am not about the car culture at all.
Being on tour and being a touring band is just like inherently not super green, you know?
Yeah.
You're taking planes everywhere or traveling, and there's plastic water bottles everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So anytime we can play at a place like this, or a venue that doesn't have water bottles and has a water jug or whatever, like, we appreciate that. And yeah.
It's cool to see the conversation growing around all that, and we see more and more venues on the road that are seeing the value of that, and hopefully as we keep growing too, we can keep pushing venues and festivals to do that, because yeah, it's super important.
Yeah, I think just trying to be careful with what I buy and finding things that are reusable and long lasting, so that I'm not throwing things away all the time, and yeah, just being conscious of what I buy and try not to buy a lot.
Okay.
Sunsets are sort of timeless to me, right? Because they happen every day, and they've been happening every day for years and years. So I think that our music sort of is reaching for a timeless element, and I think that's something that maybe you'll see in our set.
Sunset, what comes to mind is like good music, cold beer, and the beach. So the festival has everything. Hey,
we're Moonchild,
and you're watching SABC News.
Woo.
Through her work, she can bring to life a pink dream, turn a birthday party into a gala event of epic proportions, and transport guests at a wedding into a real-life fantasy. Show producer Asanda Zondi catches up with event planner and designer Precious Thamaga, who shares her story on creativity and what it is that makes the wedding ceremony stand out. Before the wedding season starts, as you count down to your big day, take a look for a lesson or two.
From private events to corporate events and especially weddings, her name will always pop up. She runs her own Black female weddings and events company. And if you're planning a wedding, you better stay with us, because this is about to excite you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the one and only Precious the Planner.
Myself as a planner and designer, I plan an event, so any celebration of any magnitude, anywhere, and design the actual event. So that means from the conceptualization of it, so the concept of what the event is going to look like, the vision of the event, that's what a designer means.
You realizing your passion for planning events, designing for events, when did that begin and how did it come about?
I'm in my 11th, going on my 12th year, running the business, Precious Celebrations. And before I ran my own business, I worked a lot in corporate South Africa with some of the biggest blue chip companies in tourism, in telecommunication, and that's actually where I got the experience and the love and the passion for eventing. That's where it grew.
How was that for you? That decision, I'm being bold, I'm doing it, I'm leaving the corporate world, I'm starting my own thing.
All I can say, you can never be ready. You have to just take the leap of faith, but do it knowing that you've acquired the skills, you've done your research of what you want to focus on. Make sure you find your niche so that when you go out there, you know what you want to focus on so that nothing distracts you. You go from being so comfortable having a salary, to now having to be the one that makes sure you bring that bread home.
I'm planning a wedding, I'm getting married in September. What should I know? Give us tips. What's in the ins and outs?
One of the things that are really trendy at the moment is amazing and lit after parties where it's not just partying at your wedding reception. You create a different experience for the after party for your guests, which is a different setup, a different space, and other trendy, experiences that you can include in your wedding is just your cocktail hour, which is the pre-reception part. Also that, normally people just don't put effort into that. That can have such an amazing and memorable experience for your guest where your bar is like a focal point for the pre-reception. You have great entertainment that is a mini concert for your guests, but also just going into just, styling and aesthetics for your wedding. Always go with what in 5 years' time you can look at and it's still beautiful.
Most people, when especially when they do Omembes, the traditional weddings, they don't book venues. They decide to go, okay, I'm gonna just get a stretch tent, a deco, and all of that. For those who prefer that route, what would you advise? What would you recommend?
To make sure that it's timeless, a lot of couples are going for the modern traditional kind of look, which is more your natural tones. Then if especially like, let me give an example, if you are a Xhosa bride, a Xhosa couple, there's quite nice, bold colors that you can introduce, but a lot of people want very toned down colors that are not too loud, and they then bring that traditional element or experience with the food, the entertainment, to make it feel like a traditional wedding. But especially if you have your umembeso or umabo or your traditional wedding at home, one of the tips I can give is remember the time of the year that you're having your celebration. Don't just go for a stretch tent because it's affordable. If it's the time of the year where it's August now, that it's windy, a stretch tent is not it. So there's different options you can go for besides a stretch tent. There's A-frame marquees where it feels like a house, but it's more stable, it's more structured, and you don't have to worry about wind, rain, or when it's cold. So those things, it depends on people's pockets, obviously. If you worry about those things, make sure that you've thought it through of, the type of event, where it is, and the weather for that time of the year.
Well, trenders, on that note, igama lamakhosikazi malibongwe.
3 years ago, artist Yolanda presented her first solo project titled Uthando Lwam under the record label 1020 Cartel. It was from the joint record label titled Isambula that songs such as Ndinovalo and Uthando Lwam became her most prominent hits outside of her collaborative works in the dance genre. Yolanda has collaborated with the likes of Kabza De Small and Oskido, to mention a few. Today, she releases her second album, Kum, with its release single titled 11 11 Magukhanye. Hello, Yolanda, and welcome to Trendz Live. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Now, tell us, who is Yolanda?
Yolanda is Yolanda Nyembezi from the Eastern Cape. She's a Afro soul, Afro pop singer. Singer-songwriter. I am classically trained, just getting that one out of the way. What else, man? I'm a musician overall.
When did you start singing, and when did you recognize that, hey, I'm actually talented? You know?
I don't think there's an exact timeline to it, but I think I started taking everything seriously when I started studying at TUT, which is where I did my vocal pedagogy degree. And then as of then, I just started doing those covers, and those are the covers that actually introduced me into the industry.
I want to go back to you being classically trained. That's amazing, right? And you said you grew up in the Eastern Cape, Bizana, right? Obviously, I would imagine that that sound isn't quite popular there. So how were you exposed to it, and why did you then choose it as a career?
You know, I don't think I chose it as such. It chose me because I initially was studying I was doing HR in Durban, and then after being, you know, financially excluded, I came to TUT, and the only thing there to study was exactly that, vocal art. So I started doing it, but I think my love for music goes way back, man, from the church, the family. Everyone is quite, you know, vocally talented. I always say that if everyone could meet my sisters, I would be the most irrelevant person on earth.
Trust me, I know the feeling. Okay, so you're releasing a new title today, a new album rather. Tell us, what is the message behind that album?
Means according to me, and it's just music that, because it's my first time releasing as an independent artist under my own record label, which is Masani Music. So I titled it translating to according to me, because of that very reason, that most of the decisions from the music to, you know, the packaging and everything is according to me. But other than that, it's music about love and life, as usual, gumko, so they would say. But yeah, man, it's just beautiful music, which is dedicated to everyone.
Right, and I mean, it's August, it's Women's Month, halala, of course. You know, it's our time to shine. What has it been like for you in the industry as a woman? We've heard so many stories of sexual harassment. What has your journey been like?
Honestly, I'd say I've been lucky enough, or rather fortunate enough, to work with people that I regard as my brothers, you know, and so I haven't really, I wouldn't say there has been anything hectic, you know, and also the sisters as well. There's quite a smaller Yana sisterhood, you know, and it's quite comforting to know that you can count on a person who's like, also, I'm a fan of so many people, so when I talk to them and they actually reply to me, I'm always like, oh, damn, okay, sis, thank you so much, you know? But more than anything, for me, it's been a space of growing and learning from, you know, the people that are above me.
And your plans for this month, where can we find you?
First of all, because we just released my album. I'm hoping you'll find me everywhere on the streets.
Yes, girl.
Performing everywhere. The plan is really to just push the album and also just be part of a bit more, you know, organizations that I've gotten invitations to. So I won't really mention names for now, because they still need to pay. But anyways, there's a lot of that.
Awesome stuff. Listen, you're such a funny, humble human being.
Thank you.
And your voice is absolutely astonishing. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. You are a force to be reckoned with, Yolanda. And what a way to wrap up this week where South African women, especially in sports, are absolutely crushing it. Halala, Twimbogoto. And that's where I leave it for today. Catch Trendz Live next week, Friday at 8 p.m. only on SABC News. Take it away, sis.
Phezulu